In the Kingdom of Fools is a famous Kannada folktale adapted from A.K. Ramanujan's folk tales from India. This interesting story is about a kingdom that was ruled by a silly king and his foolish ministers. He, along with his ministers, ordered the people of the kingdom to consider night as day and as night. They would sleep all day long and perform their daily tasks during the night. One fine day, a guru and his disciple visited the kingdom and were surprised about the reverse rules set by the king and his ministers. They were astonished to find out that everything in the kingdom cost a single rupee only. The guru and the disciple were happy initially as they could buy anything by just spending a rupee. However, the guru understood that it was not a wise decision to stay in a kingdom of fools. So he left. His disciple was unwilling to leave the kingdom because of the ready availability of good food at a reasonable rate. He was a foodie. He ate plenty of food and grew fat in a matter of a few days. One day, a thief broke into the house of a rich merchant. He made a huge hole in the wall and sneaked in while he was returning with the stolen items. The wall of the house collapsed on his head, killing him instantly. However, the thief's brother approached the king and complained to him that the house owner should be punished for not building a strong wall. The king immediately summoned the merchant to his court. When the merchant arrived, he blamed the bricklayer for building a weak wall. The bricklayer, an old man, was called to king's court and pleaded with the king to punish the dancing girl for distracting his attention from works, and as she went to and fro that street all day wearing jiggling anklets, the dancing girl, who had become old now, blamed the goldsmith, and he had delayed his work and made her walk up and down that street several times. Soon the goldsmith was brought into the king's court, who said that he was busy attending to a rich merchant's order at the time due to some wedding rituals in his family. It was therefore ruled out that this merchant was the same house owner whose wall had collapsed on the burglar. The merchant pleaded that his father was the one who ordered the jewelry and he was dead already. But the king decided to punish the merchant for his father's deed. A new stake was ordered to proceed with the executions. However, the merchant was extremely thin to fit the execution's stake. So, the king ordered him to search for a fat man to fit the stake. The king's man searched the entire kingdom and found the disciple as an idol, fit for the stake. But as he was innocent, he pleaded with the king not to punish him for others' deeds. Since it was a kingdom of fools, no one listened to him. Waiting for his execution, the disciple then remembered his guru's words and requested him to help him. His guru, who was blessed with magical powers, could see his disciple's condition in his vision. At once he arrived to save his disciple. He quietly whispered some words in his disciples' ears. Then he requested the king to punish him instead of his disciple. However, when the disciple heard this, he requested the king to put the stake on him, as he was brought there for execution first. Puzzled about who should die first, the king asked to resolve the conflict. The crew dubiously told him that whoever who would die on the stake first would be reborn as the future king of that kingdom. The one who died next would become the key minister of the kingdom. The king was baffled and did not want to lose his kingdom to someone else in the subsequent life. So he had a discussion with his minister and finally concluded that they should go on the stake to continue being the king and minister in the next life. That night, they secretly went to the prison and set free the crew along with his disciple. You also could say disciple. The next morning, the king and his minister, who disguised themselves as the crew and his disciple, were executed. When the people of the kingdom saw that the king along with his ministers were executed, they made the crew and his disciple their king and minister respectively. Although the crew was hesitant initially, he finally gave in and reserved the rules of the kingdom. And the people began leading a normal life like other kingdoms. Let's learn what we also can adapt to go for the future, so that of course we also can save the future as well as we also can be perfect. In the kingdom of fools illustrates that we should stay away from foolish people. Otherwise, we may end up suffering or may fall into trouble. Besides, foolish people need to be dealt with wisdom rather than logic. Here we brought you some of knowledge. Now let's continue in the kingdom of fools that will help young students to get a detailed insight from the story. Thank you so much.